All right, today what I'm going to do is a copy of this George Coates painting. It's an Australian artist. I've had it on my desktop as my screensaver for a long time, so I have been dying to kind of dig into it and just going to get the gist of the beautiful composition here. Again, I'm just going to go for the picture, not for the details, because it's really about, for me, doing these, studying the pictures. Get right there. And if you can see the shape, shape is the design of the painting. That's, I don't know, rather than get caught up in rendering stuff, which I think we all are victim of. But there's a time to do it, and if you can reserve that time, you'll move towards making pictures rather than rendering stuff. Alright, that's kind of the gist of it. I'm going to find it here. I'm going to leave it a little bit broad. That's the child's head. Beautiful thing about chalk like this is Vine's charcoal. It erases so easy. And I feel like maybe I came over a little bit too far here. So let's move all that. It's a thing, if you can draw, you can fix it. There we go. That feels a little better. Alright, gonna get some color in now. And again, this is a great place if you ever want to try out a medium. Just take a nice broad brush here. A tiny bit of mineral spirits. I'm gonna just feel it almost the same way that I just did in charcoal. It hits the edge. There we go. Alright, then there's a shape. Not a ton of color in this. This is the beauty of it. Very simple. I mean, you could even do a monochromatic if you wanted. Like this. Just leave it. That's all you had to do in the day. So I used to do nice little just grisailles, like be trying to set yourself up for the next day. If you only had a small amount of time, sometimes energy, is a factor. Or time management is a big thing with just doing a lot. And there's definitely breaking it up into chunks so you can kind of tackle it and over time rather than do it all in one. I feel like I have to do this today. I think that's part of learning the patience of it. Alright, then this down. It's a child's head. Look at, that's kind of the design right there. I'll load the palette up now. See if I get a little bit more color on here. Sometimes in the loading of the palette, it allows me to really think about the colors, what I think are going to be the mixtures. Maybe raw umber would be a good choice. Got some Venetian red on there. Maybe I move away from that. I'll add in a little transparent earth red. There's a nice neutral gray in the background. I may mask that in at the beginning. Let me get a little black on there. You know, the other thing too, if you're ever trying out a new brand, you know, good place to do it is to study, just to see what you think. You know, it allows for, you know, not to be so, I don't know, particular. All right, let me get a little bit of white on there. That's titanium. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more per number. Again, I'm massing this in as like just a big shape, which is what I recommend everyone do. You know, to avoid the desire to model and render the crap out of everything. Then there's the junction where that face comes down here. Alright, let's get a little burn umber on there. In the video, I'm looking at the screen really quick. The background color looks so cool, but it's not that cool. It really just shows the video. Can't always pick up what we see. Alright, and then the kind of tonal pattern of this is that this comes down and in. I'm just going to bring the black in here. And that is here on the other side. Then like that. And then the color, so fascinating. I gotta zoom in and see what the color is. Depending on the monitor too. Is maybe towards the green. I'm gonna grab the black, mix it with the yellow, make a low chroma greenish. Before I get into the details of it, just get it in there. There's a line. Little cadmium already on there. Drop the chroma, darken it. And then nice burn number, maybe to deepen it a little bit more. Find it in the middle there. And this, just about the same value as the background. Such a fun little exercise in just even values. Oh wow, this is the background, just looks so on the cool side, like blue. Break that up. Again, that allows us to go even a little darker. And then this. And then the child, let's get in there and start to, that white is not white. The gaze between these reminds me of a cassette, you know. Cassette did a whole series of being a mother. And for me, the essence of this is just this right here. Like just the gaze between the two, but the design of it is pretty amazing. All right, let's get a little blue in there. Pull it off this side. It's not a little blue, by the way. There's a lot of blue. And I just get the elements. Dark blue. Grab ivory. Clean the brush. Again, not detail. I'm avoiding putting in detail. Not because I don't want to put it in, but it's about the picture that I'm after, not the details. All right. So what the child, and I'll go back in with a little bit of, looks like the hair may go a little bit towards the red side. That shape. You know, and that's the basis of the child. You know, you look at the way in which, I don't want to say old masters, because old masters used to sometimes an indirect method, more function of the time, and you know, much more direct after, especially Impressionism. I think could really open that up. And it allows for wet into wet working. maybe a little. See what that does. Cools it down, pulls it more towards the center. It's not super cool, but great place to play with some mixtures, try things out. The thing too is, like, I use this as a playground to be mindful of everything that I can then bring into the next step, which is to make a painting. Normally, I'm always studying stuff with the intent to make my own and to study those that have come before. Stand on the giants of all those who've come before. Get that relationship in. I see that I can get darker. But look at the way in which he's even framing it. Framing the objects. It's composed. I mean, it's not just, oh, the mother sat in the bed. Here it is. And just, oh, go sit in the bed. No, I bet you he composed it and he knew what he wanted to add and take out. Think of it like a play or something. Of course, I don't know, so there's possible that this is just, he asked his wife or something to go sit in front of his child and, while she was sleeping or something. Anyway, come to your own conclusions, of course. Or do some research and find out. Maybe there's a story involved of how it was set up. I don't know. Sometimes it's like, don't go too far down the rabbit hole, because if the point, maybe you want to know about the story, maybe you don't, but how much is going to help with what you're trying to extract here? If it's the point is to make your own picture, then begin going to make your own pictures. Careful not to go too deep down the rabbit hole, unless that's something you enjoy. All right, and then this can be put in very broadly. Scumble it on. One of the things I'm not all that huge of a fan of with atelier method is to render one object at a time. Sometimes what it feels like. I don't know. You're not always thinking of the whole when you're doing it. You're thinking of a part. And the direct method to me allowed for thinking of the whole. Like the ability to really get the relationships of the colors. Of course, there's ways around it, like doing a poster study to make sure that you're not. Look at that. Could have been like late at night. He's like, I don't want to put that in. He's like, nope. He's putting it in. That right there is a design element to break up that space. beautiful, just lines throughout this whole thing. Wow, that blue looks so blue on the video. It's not that blue. But yeah, one of those things hard to pick up on camera. All right. This brush, I always get asked, what are you using? What's the magic? Trikel 9100 long flat. Love these brushes. I believe it's a Spectrum. Legion. All right. And just tap into the edge there. Helps soften it. It's really not even that light. You know, that helps soften it to bring the eye up. That'd be a design element I would consciously do even if I saw it lighter than this. It's all darker. Let's get this in. It's like I don't want to get into fingers and stuff like that. Just, no, just it's here, right there. Tiny bit of a contrast. Too much. Just a bit of a contrast just to show that it's a hand. Now it's surrounded by this. Just to cut it up. Let's get the arm in. Right. And then pop that arm up. Just shorten her arm. Deepen that a little bit. Don't get too caught up in it all. There we go. Oh, while I'm here, I'll draw this in. It's the bed. Connect that together as one. cut it up after. There we go. I don't think that's the perfect contrast there. Put this here. And look at beautiful little element of frames that up. Just that gesture right there just feels like somebody leaning into their child. It's beautiful. It's where I'm not quite sure if I can hit the green. Maybe I'll touch a little bit more. Not quite sure if he would have had that color. But again, at the end of the day, you can veer off, grab what you want from these. That's what I end up doing. That adds a touch more chroma, and it could just be the picture, like the reference that I'm working from. Kind of the gist of the picture. Of course, you can clean it whatever you want, but I'm gonna just leave it nice and open. It's about studying the picture, at least for me. All right. And I think that's about it. Let me see if I could just interweave a little bit more of the color in the background. Feels a little just thread this in a little bit more as a texture. Let's see if that's what he's trying to do. Chop it up a little bit. I think it really balances the whole thing. Gives like that velvety feel of the wall.